Okay, so what are your observations about the state of research into Parkinson's, government contribution and the repercussions for not giving it sufficient funding now and going into the future?
I think funding for research is, for Parkinson's in particular, is much less than equivalent disease conditions. I think that's a fact that we know in Australia. The implication of that, of course, is that it's very difficult to do very concerted research in Parkinson's, to even think about finding a cure or understanding the effects of the disease. So Parkinson's disease research becomes often an add-on to different projects as opposed to being the focus. Part of that problem is because Parkinson's is not a national health priority, and I think we really need to make that happen. The priority is important because it influences healthcare decisions as well as research funding decisions for the whole of Australia. So I think that's a key thing.
What are the implications of doing nothing or doing things at the same level as they are now? What are the implications for the research funding and for really the people who have to live with this disease and those who have to care for them?
The implications at the moment, if nothing changes in terms of funding, is that the available pool of funds is diminishing. There is increased competition, so success rates have most probably dropped from something like 20% and they're expected to be about 10% this year. So that means there will be very little funding for Parkinson's research, I suspect, in the current round. This is having some flow-on effects throughout Australia. I know of several groups which will now be disbanding because of that, and I worry for that because you're losing critical intellectual mass in Australia. You lose the expertise that's critical for development of early career researchers, the mentoring of mid-career researchers, and just the continuous stream of longitudinal research you need in order to maintain good basis for understanding the disease.
In terms of government contribution to research and the contribution of other foundations such as Shake It Up, what's the sort of percentage between government supported research and others? It must be somewhat galling to have to rely on too many other foundations.
The NHMRC would be the major funding body for Parkinson's research in Australia. There are other groups like the Brain Foundation, there are the various state-based Parkinson's organisations that fund to a small extent small projects of a few $1,000s each. The Shake It Up would be one of the largest funders if you're going to talk about a cure for research. So that's heavily or totally aligned with the MJ Fox Foundation in the United States. But they do great work. I think the MJ Fox have really shaken up Parkinson's research internationally, so it's good to see that influence coming through.
Is it ironic that it takes someone well known to get it for it to happen?
It's very ironic, I think. There are a large number of Australians who have Parkinson's, who have, I guess, at all different levels of society. This is the thing, Parkinson's affects everyone. So top politicians to top religious figures to top business people, there's all those people, there's representatives from all those groups where people would have had Parkinson's, yet it doesn't seem to make a difference. It's very difficult to attract funding. So
your message really is this has to be a national health priority to lock in the funding and to lock in the expertise that's going to be needed with an ageing population.
Absolutely. So that's the other important thing. As our demographic is getting older in Australia, so the number of people with Parkinson's is going to increase. We've already had a doubling of healthcare costs from 2005 to the present, and that's just rate is going to increase. And the largest percentage of those costs are borne by the government. So we've got to be really sure our health dollars are going to be spent wisely here.
And that's going to be a main lobbying objective for Parkinson's Australia going forward?
Yes, so Parkinson's Australia will lobby for research and healthcare for Parkinson's very actively.
Okay, great.